Have you ever seen anybody defeat sex? Inquiring minds want to know. I got time. 866-96-POTUS. That's the number to call it. 866-96-POTUS. You tell me, who's won that battle?
So Stephen A. Smith just dropped one of his most explosive political takes ever, arguing that sex scandals are literally undefeated in destroying political careers. He's about to break down decades of evidence showing how sexual misconduct systematically brings down powerful politicians. Let's break this down.
We're going to have a real conversation about sex. Right here on POTUS Radio Channel 124. That's right, I'm going there. Because sometimes it's necessary.
This is exactly the kind of uncomfortable truth mainstream political media refuses to address directly. While other commentators dance around these issues, he's willing to examine the actual patterns of how power and sexual misconduct intersect in Washington's corridors of power.
Eric Swalwell is in a world of trouble. These are criminal accusations. This is not about his congressional seat anymore. His political career is over. It's over. This is about a former prosecutor that is now on the verge of being officially prosecuted because accusations of rape have been levied against him, and he's going to have to find a way to defend himself in the court of law. That's what this is looking like.
The irony here is devastating. Swalwell built his entire brand as a moral crusader, especially during Trump investigations and Kavanaugh hearings. Now he's facing the exact type of accusations he weaponized against others. His prosecutorial background makes these allegations even more damaging politically.
Having said that, believe it or not, that is not where my alarm lies. That is not where my antennas have raised exponentially.
This is the key insight. Individual scandals are symptoms of a much deeper institutional problem. Congressional sexual misconduct has been documented for decades, with whisper networks among female staffers being the only real protection system. The real story is systemic corruption.
Former lawmakers across the political spectrum have warned for years of a hushed congressional back channel marked by inappropriate revelry and sexual misconduct. But a sense of growing momentum gripped Congress on Tuesday as Democrats grappled with Swalwell's resignation and Republicans called for other lawmakers to face scrutiny. The 72-hour collapse of Swalwell's political career has shifted attention not only to his closest associates in Congress, but also to a larger set of sitting lawmakers from both parties suspected of lurid sexual activity.
This reporting confirms what Washington insiders have known for years. There's a bipartisan culture of sexual misconduct that gets covered up. The fact that it's described as an underground culture among the city's most powerful shows how normalized predatory behavior has become.
You have articles being written by reputable publications talking about an underground culture amongst the city's most powerful. Women working on Capitol Hill, whispering to one another about who to watch out for and how their behavior is inappropriate and all of this other stuff. They worried. This is what's going on Capitol Hill.
When women have to create informal warning systems about elected officials, that reveals the complete failure of official accountability mechanisms. These aren't isolated incidents. They're evidence of a power structure that enables and protects predators across party lines.
Because of something that I've said a long time ago as a person covering sports for over 30 years, where multi-millionaires have access to levels of proclivities you would even imagine. And what I said back then, and what I'll say to you now, ladies and gentlemen, when people look at an abundance of other individuals that are out there, and they say, why does this person get there? Why does that person not get there? You know what it is? You know why some people get caught up in mess and some people don't? Because when you were getting some before you got in the office.
This sports analogy is brilliant. He's seen how unlimited money and access corrupt athletes, and the same dynamics apply to politicians. Power creates opportunities for misconduct, and Washington's elite operate with the same sense of invincibility as professional athletes.
You lose your damn mind. You talk about Father Time is undefeated. Have you ever seen anybody defeat sex? Inquiry minds want to know. I got time. 866-96-POTUS. That's the number to call it. 866-96-POTUS. You tell me, who's won that battle? You think when Adam was created and you're talking about Adam and Eve, that the forbidden fruit that they wasn't supposed to eat, you think they talking about an apple or an orange? Is that what you thought? They're talking about something else now. Use your head. Make it make sense.
This biblical reference cuts to the heart of human nature. Sexual desire has been bringing down powerful men since recorded history began. The forbidden fruit metaphor perfectly captures how politicians repeatedly destroy themselves over something they know is destructive.
The problem is that Eric Swalwell essentially has convicted himself with his own words and his own behavior. Let's look at this quote right here that he went on X, Twitter. This is November 17th, 2018. Support survivors. Believe survivors.
This is political suicide by hypocrisy. Swalwell's own Believe Survivors tweet from the Kavanaugh hearings is now being used as evidence against him. He created an impossible standard that he now has to live by. There's literally no escape from his own words.
Talk about your own words coming back to bite you in the ass. It's bad. Now keep in mind, Supreme Court Justice, then a nominee, Brett Kavanaugh was not criminally charged. Multiple women made allegations of past sexual assault and misconduct during his 2018 confirmation, which he has consistently denied. These remain unproven allegations. In background, no prosecutor filed assault charges against him. Nevertheless, that was Eric Swalwell's words. And in Eric Swalwell's case, he's got 5 women who have come forward and have accused him of sexual misconduct. 5. Believe the women. That's what he said. What are we to think now? Support survivors, believe survivors, we are with you. What is he going to say now?
The double standard is glaring. Swalwell demanded Kavanaugh be disqualified over unproven allegations, but now expects different treatment for himself. This exposes how politicians weaponize sexual assault accusations when convenient, then demand due process when it's their turn.
When Brett Kavanaugh said it was false, he wasn't trying to hear that. Now what's he going to do? And it made me think back, and I said, you know what, I'm going to look up some of these sex scandals. Far be it for me to dig up stuff, but it is appropriate because of the conversation.
This historical analysis is crucial because it shows the pattern isn't partisan or recent. It's a fundamental problem with how power operates in American politics. The upcoming list will prove that sexual misconduct destroys careers regardless of party affiliation.
Remember Governor Jim McGreevey in New Jersey resigned in 2004 with the unforgettable line, "I'm a gay American," after his Israeli Homeland Security advisor threatened a sexual harassment lawsuit, and McGreevey acknowledged what he called an extramarital relationship with him. Remember that? What about Eliot Spitzer, former Democratic governor of New York? The crusading anti-corruption governor had personally prosecuted prostitution rings, but was discovered to be a client of a high-end escort service. You can't make this shit up. You just can't make it up. It's unbelievable. How about John Edwards, who was having an affair while his wife, Elizabeth, was fighting terminal cancer? How about that? We'll never forget that. How about Larry Craig, Republican, out of Idaho, if I remember correctly, arrested in a Minneapolis airport men's room in 2007 and charged with lewd conduct after soliciting an undercover officer. Pled guilty, then reversed course and insisted he was not gay. You can't make this up. You just can't. Mark Sanford, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Anthony Weiner, don't forget about him in New York.
Every single one of these cases proves the central thesis. Powerful men consistently destroy themselves through sexual misconduct. McGreevey's resignation, Spitzer's hypocrisy as an anti-corruption crusader, Edwards' cruelty during his wife's cancer. Sex truly is undefeated in politics.
Dennis Hastert, Republican out of Illinois, Speaker of the House, pled guilty in 2015 to illegally structuring bank withdrawals, stuff like that. I mean, multiple women. Al Franken, Democrat, Minnesota. John Conyers, Democrat, Michigan. Blake Farenthold, Republican, Texas. Eric Greitens or whatever, Republican, Missouri. admitted to an extramarital affair with his hairdresser. And of course, Donald Trump. More than 25 women accused Trump of sexual misconduct over the years. Writer E. Jean Carroll sued him for a 1996 assault, and the jury found him liable for sexual abuse and awarded him $5 million. A second jury added $83.3 million in defamation damages. You can't make it up.
This comprehensive list destroys any argument that sexual misconduct is a partisan issue. From Hastert to Franken to Trump, it spans decades and crosses every political line. The consistency of the pattern proves this is about power dynamics, not political ideology.
Don't let me go back further than that with JFK, Ted Kennedy, and Chippequatic, and all of this other stuff. Lord have mercy, it doesn't end. Good Lord. Sex, y'all. That's what's really undefeated.
Going back to JFK and Chappaquiddick shows this isn't a modern problem. It's been endemic for generations. The historical consistency proves the central argument. When you combine power, access, and human nature, sexual scandal becomes inevitable. Sex remains undefeated.